my brothers and sisters from the media fraternity, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am humbled to be here. At the same time, I'm super excited to see all the faces, especially given the fact that I have not seen these faces in a long while. Medamasi for coming. Medamasi Bibri for coming. Medamasi. When I say I'm grateful, I truly mean it. Because clearly, today is a very, very busy day. You could have been anywhere. You could have been in your homes, but you decided to heed to our clarion call to speak about our football, the sport we love so much, the sport that feeds all of us. Again, Medamasi Bibri. It's been 2 years since all of you gave us the opportunity to serve the Ghanaian game. From the very onset, we knew it was a very, very challenging opportunity. But we also knew that we had the blessings of millions of Ghanaians to be able to deliver our struggling football industry to the promised land. We also knew that the pathway we have chosen will not be so smooth at all times. We also knew there will be joyous moments, but we also knew that there could be turbulence along the way. But because of your undiluted support that you showed to us right from the word go, we were of the absolute opinion that regardless of the turbulence, the men here will always support me. You would always support my leadership to be able to deliver Ghanaian football to the promised land. Medamasi Bibri. We started with a promise to bring back the love, to ignite passion, and to create wealth for everybody. And to do that, we needed to set or to get our fundamentals right. To do that, we needed to have an effective and an efficient administrative setup, not only in Accra at the headquarters, but also in the various 10 football regions that manage football and beyond. Over the last 2 years, we have ensured that we have hired some of the topmost personnel to be part of the establishment, including the setting up of some very, very new departments. Just to mention a few, for the first time in the Ghanaian history, especially with football, we have a marketing department. For the first time, we have a competitions department. For the first time, we have a national teams department. We have an integrity officer. For the first time, we have a fully fledged finance department. For the first time, we have a marketing department which your football association has never had. So you can see clearly, for the first time, we have an HR department responsible for all the HR needs of your own football association. For the first time, we have a fully manned technical directorate. Sambakaya, in the time past, we've always had one man, Mr. Otia Kenten, being the technical director and wholly responsible for a department we call the Technical Directorate. Obviously, that was not enough. Now we have a fully fledged Technical Directorate responsible for all the developmental needs and strategies of your own football association. So you can see clearly that when we set out to fix the fundamentals, we really meant it. All the key ingredients to make sure that football administration is what it's supposed to be is now in place. If you came through the main door at the football association, you will feel, say, what be football fee? Say, Meboa, after today, come to Accra, visit your own headquarters of football, and have a feel. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. Right from the word go, we knew that we had to bring back the sport that fits all of us. We had to bring competition back. Mr. Emo, give me your ears, no talking. So even in difficult times, we brought football back. The Premier League is back in full swing. We are all enjoying. The Division 1 League is back. The Women's Premier League is back in a super fantastic way. All the regional leagues have been honored, and we are getting into a new season. Juvenile football, coast football, is back in a way that we have never seen. Now when you are home, you're watching the KGL U17 Champions League on your screens. You are witnesses to new super talents being developed. At the national team level, our U20 are proud winners of the African Championship. Dr. Randy Abe is the chairman. Can we clap for him? Prior to that victory, it's been 9 odd years since we won the U20 tournament on the African continent. I mean, you would agree with me that in the years that Ghana was dominant at the U17 level, at the U20 level, at the U23 level, our Black Stars were super dominant in Africa and beyond. Let's take our minds back into time. From 1999 to 201 U20 to 203, and on. Then we went to Germany for the World Cup. 209 U20 champions of the world. In 2009, in 2010, we're in the finals of the AFCON. We're in the quarterfinals, almost in the semifinals of the World Cup. Those were the dominant years of Ghanaian football. Those were the years our youth football was at the top. So if currently we are the champions on the African continent, we should be proud. Currently, we've qualified to the AFCON. People think that it's a given, but it's come through hard work. And soon, we shall be in Cameroon to try to rewrite history. It's been 40 odd years since Ghana won the AFCON, but I believe that we have a group of super dedicated players who want to write their names in history and who would fight for glory and honor for Ghana at the AFCON. Beyond that, they said we're schoolboys. They said we're 1 year old in office, but we won that all-important battle against the Republic of South Africa. And we are now in the last leg for possible qualification to the Mondial in Qatar. There's been other projects that we started, which is still ongoing, including, but not limited to, the construction of boreholes for clubs in the Premier League, in the Division 1 League, and in the Women's Premier League. The provision of footballs for football clubs in the Premier League, in the Division 1 League, and in the Women's Premier League as we speak. We also provide footballs for regional football development. The Football Association invested $100,000 in the purchase of 6,000 footballs last year. And we will repeat same strategy this year. And again, next year, we will again invest 100,000 US dollars to purchase footballs for cold second division and third division football in this country. We know that the journey ahead of us is a long one. We know that it could be very challenging sometimes, but we also know that we can draw strength from the support all of you, and most importantly, people in the football ecosystem have and continue to offer this leadership of our sport. Yes, once in a while you hear dissenting voices, but believe me, it is very normal. And this is what I love. Because that is the only way we can grow our football. But it's also true that the football family is one. It must always be one. We cannot have two football families, and that will not happen under my leadership. Like I said, we would have challenges. It's like the path of an aircraft. When the aircraft taxis and takes off, you expect it to be smooth. But there are times that it goes through turbulence. Sometimes you are notified by the flight attendants. Sometimes opposing views hinder our work. Is that correct? Is that correct? I think I spoke to this in my submission. And, let me just repeat what I said. I am glad to hear other minds. Other minds. So, people who speak their mind will not be considered as people who are hindering the work that we do. I welcome other minds, and I'll continue to work with people who have other minds. The second question has to do with my thoughts about my administration in 2 years. I think that we volunteered to serve Ghana football. I do not enjoy rating the hard work my good self and my 12 ESCO members and all the subcommittees of the Football Association put into our work. Most importantly, is for our membership to look at how hard we are working. If they are happy, I am very happy. And I know that our membership are very, very happy with the work we've done so far for the Ghanaian game. Now, there was another question relating to scouting and introduction of new players into our senior national team. Indeed, when we started work in 2019, we started a journey to offer opportunities to players of Ghanaian descent anywhere in the world. And I've always used my son as an example. If my son, who was born in England, is a super fantastic footballer, would we deny him the chance to play for Ghana because he was not born in Ghana? The answer is no. The Black Stars is for Ghanaians, and Ghanaians live everywhere in the world, for which reason we want to provide the platform for every super talent who fits the thoughts of our various coaches to represent our country year in, year out. And that includes some of the names that you've mentioned. Indeed, we've been engaging some of the names that you've mentioned. The process is ongoing, and if it is that we are through with any of them, I am sure that your football association will make it public. Playing for our national team does not start and stop with the AFCON. Beyond the AFCON, there is the World Cup qualification games. Beyond that, there's AFCON qualification games for 2023, etc., etc. So our ambition is to build national teams that are very competitive and that will win medals or trophies for our dear country. And players who are willing and who love their country will be given the opportunity to show their love to their country. That's it. Footballs, I'm quite surprised, and I'll pick that up with the competitions department. Okay, if it is that, sorry, he was given the balls. Okay. But if there are any, the chairman of the team says that the boy has received the balls. The chairman of the team says they have received the balls. If it is that some players have not received balls because they have scored a hat trick, sorry. Would you want to listen to the explanation? Okay. I have said here that let me grant what he asked. Let's admit what he asked is true. I have said here that I will engage the competition department, and if it is that there's a challenge, they will fix it. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, next round.
The Black Stars, I'm going to use the Black Stars because you cited the Black Stars. The Black Stars is a brand just like any of our national teams. And their singular responsibility or job, somebody would say, is to win games. Okay? And in doing this, you want to present the best players as possible. If we have 11 best players, and those best players are the players that the coaches like, they will represent the Black Stars. Okay? I don't believe in this idea of giving a quota to local players. But I would always encourage local players to work well and to fight for placings in the Black Stars, most especially. And currently, there are, I think, minimum 4 or 5 call-ups for local players each and every time when the Black Stars assemble. It's very, very positive. And we should be excited and happy that for the first time, your football association has organized a league which is super competitive, and I'm talking about Division 1. Super competitive, and that league has produced a super talent that is currently the best U20 player in Africa and currently playing for our Black Stars. I don't remember the last time. this happened in Ghana. But we discovered him because we organized a very competitive Division 1 league. The scouts did their good job. He was identified, given opportunity at the U17, U20, and now he's with the senior most national team. This is a big plus for our domestic league. Very, very big one. The next question, whether Kurt Okraku hates Krobia, Kumasi, Asante Kotoko. I feel very sad when people discuss this subject matter, because people who are deeply involved in Kotoko on personal lines know what I have done for this club before. When I was not the FA president, when I became the FA president through your own support, Krobia Kumasi Asante was the first club I visited. Is that not true? Kotoko is a powerhouse in Ghanaian football. And any FA president who would want to forget this will never have a successful reign. Of course, there are 16, 17, 18, 19 other Premier League clubs. There are other 48 Division 1 clubs. There are 20 women Premier League clubs. But Krobia Asante Kotoko comes with a rich history, owned by the big king. Nobody can show disrespect to a brand like this. The FA has been very supportive of Kotoko in their African Cup campaign and beyond. So, the Football Association or my good self do not hate and cannot hate any football club, let alone Krobia Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But the truth must be told that all football clubs, all members of the Football Association must behave within the regulations that all of us have put together. And if it is that you are Dreams FC, you are Kotoko, you are Hasafo, you are Fankoba, you go over the red line, you'll be brought back into the green line. This is normal. The FA will support every club in this country, will support Krobia Asante Kotoko when they engage us, because the FA is the mother body. And if it is that we want our sport to be as strong as we all desire, it's important we keep the family together. And we will support Kotoko and all clubs within the football ecosystem to grow so that the Ghanaian game will be stronger than where we took it. The next one. Sorry? Plans to win the AFCON. Of course, we all know that it's been 40 odd years since we won the AFCON. I've not been part of the previous generations of management who took care of our campaigns. I can only speak about what we are doing. And I can tell you that first of all, we have a committed and dedicated squad. We have a very, very hard-working technical team. We are getting good support from the Honorable Minister and the Government of the Republic. The Executive Council is putting in all the good plans that will ensure that we are competitive on the African continent and beyond. It's our singular desire that we win the AFCON. That's why I have asked that all of you here should join us in this battle to make our brand interesting, to give confidence to the players, to support the players when they are troubled or they are challenged, or when they are in difficult times, to ensure that we are strong at all times, positive atmosphere around the team, so we can win games. This is important. It's also your part to play. Okay, so you spoke about headline sponsor. Is this Sasu? Okay. So, sports marketing, and I hope that everybody will listen to me. Sports marketing is a dynamic subject. Football marketing is a dynamic subject. And it's important that sports marketers or football marketers face the realities of the day at all times. Now we are here, and your question line has to do with headline sponsor. But the truth of the matter is that when we speak about the product called the GPL or the WPL or DOL, we are not only talking about headline sponsor, we are talking about sponsors. Even if I have to just narrow it down to your question of headline sponsor, the value of the GPL is pegged at $3 million US for the title sponsor. And you, as a marketer, you go into the market looking for company A or one company to dole out $3 million US for the headline sponsor category. You can come from Jupiter to Timbuktu. For 5 million years, you don't have that company A to give you $3 million. But when you are dynamic as the subject matter itself, you will soon realize that, oh, you're looking for 3 million, let me divide it into 5 and look for 5 companies who will give me 3 million in total. At the end, you have achieved your end goal of looking for 3 million. You may not have had what you call a headline sponsor, but you will have sponsors who believe in the brand, who would invest. And this is the reality of the sports or football ecosystem or football economy that we currently have. The Ghanaian companies, obviously, have gone through turbulence, COVID inclusive. So finding 3 million is difficult. So what we have tried to do is to slash that cake into smaller ones and look for companies who will be supportive of the agenda. That's why it's important for us to respect the companies who are currently investing in our football. The EPL in England do not have a headline sponsor. It's not a big topic. But for us in Ghana, once we don't name anybody as a headline sponsor, it means you've done no work. But companies are investing, and it's the reason why our league is ongoing. It's the reason why we've been supportive of our clubs, Women's Premier League, up to the KGL U17 Inter-Club Champions League. KGL are investing $1 million US. KGL are investing $1 million US in our Black Stars. We've not named them as the headline sponsor of the Black Stars. Is that not true, Sasu? Yes. So, I understand when marketers speak about headline sponsor, but headline sponsor is somebody's creation. At the end, you're looking for sponsors for your product, whether it's the GPL, WPL, DOL, juvenile football, etc., beach soccer, futsal, etc., etc. Currently, we have sponsors who have been supportive, and we continue to be aggressive in the market, looking for more partners to support the domestic game. Thank you. Sorry? So, the American say, you're setting up a fully functional marketing department. And if it is a you to me, and I say you go so ball, your football matches, you to me organize your league games now. Now you go so support to your clubs now. It's because of the worker marketing department so omodeboa. if I have to list the names of companies who have invested in Ghana football since the marketing department was put in place, I'm sure you'll be surprised. If you want evidence, just watch or take your mind back to the last Black Stars game and look at the number of companies who advertised during the game. This is investment in Ghana football. Beyond that, we've had Melcom, we've had Casaprecon, we've had Woodin, we've had KGL investing $2 million US. We've had NASCO, TCL, we have Star Times. Sorry? Yes, it's quite endless. That tells you, say, the marketing department have been working. And if it is, say, to me, more investment in that particular department, I'm sure we'll have more revenue coming through. Okay, so marketing department setup now is crucial for us. Very, very crucial. Okay, Obi should be about the work of the integrity officer. Any, you should adjectives be brief. Obed. Pizza. Any day. Okay. So I'll repeat what I have said. And I remember I stood in public and said, our football has been attacked by faceless cowards. And these faceless cowards will be brought to book. And will bring them to justice. And I'm repeating that again. Our football last season was attacked by faceless cowards. And it's our individual and collective responsibility to protect the sport that feeds all of us. And people who are found guilty will be brought to justice. You can quote it. Investigating match fixing, it takes time. You can follow it everywhere in the world. Everywhere. It takes time. But that does not mean, repeating me home, that does not mean, we are brushing or we are putting the issue under the carpet. The integrity officer, working closely with the prosecutors, have leveled charges against some of the people who are involved, and they are currently going through the motions at the disciplinary committee level. All the players who were named in that instant case appeared before the committee last Monday. All the officials that were involved would also appear next Friday. So you can see clearly, it's not about somebody shielding or protecting anybody. The process is ongoing, and it's important. The fact process doesn't mean Ghana football must come to a standstill. No, because you don't know when the educating process will end. That's why it's important your programs ebe koso. In the other developed countries, in other jurisdictions, omanya cases but they don't stop their football and train. They may take it 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years. Answer the case maybe answer about football. No, this is not how brands are built. This is not how brands are built. Cases would always go independent of the brands. And it's our firm commitment to weed the corporates out of their hiding places. It is my commitment, and it's a commitment of this ESCO, to weed people who are involved in these acts out of our football. But with your effort, and I have few media persons offering information in this respect, and I thank you guys. And I hope more information come forward, So together we can clean the system. You can see clearly, say last season, I'm not for Papa Pay because of the confidence that was coming back to our sport. As soon as our incident in this year. And like we all know, Rome was not built in a day. It will take a gradual process. We'll continue with our educational drive. We'll continue to educate. We'll continue to equip the integrity department and the prosecutors to ensure, say, the early signals are picked even before the acts happen. This is important. And say, Obed, nobody is protecting anybody. And I think, say, Munya follow the administration since 2019. If you go against the law, we have to correct you. If you go against the law, if you go over the red line, we have to help you to come inside the red line, inside the green line. That's the only way we can help each other. Hooliganism found its way somehow during a small part of last season. We did a lot of work to educate people, to encourage people to understand the demands of the sport. And as part of that effort, we engaged the previous leadership of the police service. And this year, again, we have engaged the new leadership of the police service. Again, at the most recent meeting, I suggested to the IGP to consider setting up a special unit, which is a sports policing unit. Because I'm of the firm belief, say, football policing and normal policing is different. I am glad to say the police service are very much committed to this new idea. And will continue to pursue the agenda to ensure that the sports policing unit within the police service is established. It's also important, say, when people misbehave, we speak against it. Who say, just like you speak against me or against my ESCO, when you think you don't agree with us. When people at game centers, at league centers, go over the red line, we have to speak against it. Because that's the only way we can clean